There are 7.5 billion people on the planet. We all have different and complex lenses through which we see the world, and here we all are trying to make things work. What if everyone was more aware of the repressed parts of themselves that cause them to hate others? Could finding this information out about yourself prevent self-destructive behavior? Could understanding and having more empathy for your hidden self allow one to be more tolerant of others? This creepy and eerily accurate visual test you're about to take just might have the answer. Leopold Sondy was a Hungarian psychiatrist and professor of psychology, born in 1893. By the late 1930s and 1940s, Sondy's work was on par with the work of Freud and Jung. When Sondy and his family were rounded up by the Nazis and put on a train to a concentration camp, nearly 2,000 American intellectuals paid for his release. Unfortunately, Sondy's theories aged less well than those of his contemporaries, and he's largely unknown today. Sondy believed that all of mental illness could be explained in a single theory. Basically, he believed that human beings had 8 drives. A person could discover their underlying unfulfilled drive by viewing a photo of the faces of 8 mental patients and choosing the one that made them feel most uneasy. This would reveal their hidden personality traits, the part of themselves which they have strongly repressed. Occasionally, someone who was deeply repressing a part of themselves would react to a certain face almost violently, having a fit, twitching, or becoming otherwise visibly shaken and disturbed. Ultimately, the Sondy test did not stand the test of time, and today is mostly seen as just an oddity. But perhaps the next time you see something you hate in someone else, you might realize that it's probably something that also lies within you. Let's begin. Have a look at these faces. Don't overthink anything. One of them should stand out to you as someone you would feel the most uncomfortable with if you encountered them in a dark alley or they suddenly stepped into an empty elevator with you. Take note of which one it is, then skip ahead in the video to discover what it means. Timestamps for the different choices are in the description section of this video. Please hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications to make sure you don't miss any upcoming videos on self-knowledge and success. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy. Number 1. The Sadist. If you chose this image, according to Sondy's theory, it's possible that you are repressing experiences from earlier years, particularly having issues with authority. Individuals who fall into this category sometimes take passive-aggressive resistance towards authority figures, such as bosses or parents. Number 2, the epileptic. If you chose this image, according to Sondy's theory, it's possible that you are experiencing repression of anger from your early childhood. This is associated with traits such as impulsiveness, irritability, and outbursts of aggression. Typically, when it's being repressed, you'll find that these types of individuals seem to have an impression of being very peaceful, very friendly, and they can easily get along with others. Number 3, the catatonic. If you chose this image, according to Sondy's theory, it's possible that you are repressing hyperactivity, and it goes back to your childhood. Someone who's repressing this, Someone who's actively repressing this will have trouble being in touch with reality, and they'll have be repressing excessive mental imagination and stimulation. So in this person's life, what it usually looks like is that they are rather defensive and they don't like to be vulnerable at all because they have rigid behavior that keeps those repressions at bay. Number 4, the schizophrenic. If you chose this image, according to Sandi's theory, it's possible that you are repressing feelings of intense apathy and severe distortions of emotion or thought patterns. These individuals may have repressed feelings of indifference, and they may be trying to hold back the desire to withdraw from social activity. The way that these people tend to come across when this is being repressed is completely opposite. So they'll seem to be very outgoing and they enjoy being with other people. Others may get the feeling that this is superficial. Number 5, the hysteric. If you chose this image, according to Sandi's theory, you're likely suppressing very unstable emotions around narcissism and exhibitionism. These are people who are strongly repressing the need to get attention and the severe desire for approval. What they probably do in order to repress those feelings are to give off the impression of being modest, shy, or having excessive charm and kindness to get the attention that they desperately desire. Number 6, the depressive. You chose this image according to Sandi's theory. It's possible that you are repressing a lack of self-esteem as well as feelings of guilt or inferiority. Individuals who are repressing depressive behavior, they may come across as being very outgoing and carefree. Their confidence and optimism are obvious, but what they're really covering are feelings of sadness and negativity. Number 7, the maniac. If you chose this image, according to Sandi's theory, you may be repressing feelings of overconfidence. This person may be repressing emotions of extreme extroversion, restlessness, recklessness with money, emotions, just feeling out of control. When someone's repressing these behaviors, what it often looks like is someone who is very controlled, precise, with very logical behavior. This is what they must do in order to keep those feelings at bay. Number 8, dissociative identity disorder. If you chose this image according to Sandi's theory, this kind of person is very confused about who they really are. They may also have issues or concerns about their gender and how their roles fit within that confine. People who are repressing this emotion may come across in a very forceful way about who they are, actively trying to convince other people of something that they're not so sure about themselves.